Family is supposed to be our safe haven, the people who lift us up when life gets heavy. But what happens when those closest to us, parents, siblings, partners, betray our trust, push our boundaries, or demand more than we're willing to give? These 5 raw, unfiltered stories dive into the messy, emotional heart of family dynamics, exposing the pain of betrayal, the weight of obligation, and the courage it takes to stand your ground. Each one challenges the fairy tale notion of family loyalty, forcing us to ask, how much do we owe the people who hurt us? Buckle up. This isn't your typical feel-good tale. It's a gut punch that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about love, duty, and forgiveness. The daughter who refused to carry her father's burden. Imagine losing your mother at 26. Only to discover your father's been cheating on her with a woman your age. That's the gut-wrenching reality one woman faced. Her father's betrayal didn't just shatter her family, it obliterated her trust. His entire family disowned him, leaving her as his only tether to the past. For 5 years she clung to that fragile connection, visiting him a few times a month, unable to let go of both parents at once. But time has a way of clarifying things. Now she's ready to walk away. Until her father drops a bombshell on his birthday. He and his new wife, struggling to make ends meet in a rented home, ask her to become the legal guardian of their toddler daughter, her half-sister, if anything happens to them. Why? Because she's set to inherit everything. Her grandparents' house, her mother's estate, the whole lot. They frame it as a noble act, saying she'd have the means to care for an innocent child. But she sees through the manipulation. This isn't about love, it's about money and control. She refuses, offering only a monthly check, unwilling to take on a child who represents her mother's final heartbreak. Her father cries, calling her heartless. His wife brands her a monster and kicks her out. Later she texts him, cutting ties for good. Here's the controversial hook. She's not wrong. Society tells us family comes first. But why should she sacrifice her peace for a father who betrayed her mother, and a half-sister she barely knows? This isn't about pettiness. It's about self-preservation. Behavioral psychology backs her up. The sunk cost fallacy often traps us into maintaining toxic relationships just because we've invested time in them. She's breaking free, defying the guilt trip that says she owes her father anything. Her story taps into our fear of being used, resonating with anyone who's ever felt pressured to fix someone else's mess. It's a bold stand against the myth that blood ties justify everything. The teen caught in her mother's love affair. Picture this. You're 19, in love with your boyfriend of 4 years. When you walk in on your mom kissing his dad, shock doesn't begin to cover it. This young woman's world flips upside down as her mother and her boyfriend's father announce they're planning to marry. The betrayal stings, not just because it's awkward, but because her mom dismisses her relationship as young love that won't last. At a family dinner, the tension explodes. When her aunt asks why she's not speaking to her mom, she spills everything. Maybe if she wasn't sleeping with my boyfriend's dad, I'd talk to her. Her mom retaliates, shouting that her love life shouldn't be ruined by kids who think their relationship is forever. The room falls silent and she storms out, tears streaming. The emotional weight here is crushing. This isn't just about a weird family dynamic. It's about a mother invalidating her daughter's feelings to justify her own choices. The daughter's reaction taps into the reciprocity bias. We expect loyalty from those we love, and when it's broken, the pain is visceral. Her story challenges the conventional wisdom that parents always know best. Why should she accept her mom's relationship when it disregards her own? The controversy lies in her public outburst. Some call it immature, but others see it as a raw, honest cry for respect. Her cousin sides with her, but the rest of the family rallies behind her mom, leaving her isolated. It's a stark reminder that family loyalty can sometimes feel like a one-way street. The sister who banned her family from her home now, let's jet to Australia, where a 29-year-old woman and her husband open their home to her British sister, Becky, and her family for annual vacations. It's a generous gesture, free lodging in a beautiful country. It's a chance for Becky's kids to sleep on air mattresses in the living room, creating memories with their cousins. But when they leave, the spare bedroom is a disaster. Food wrappers, crumbs, plastic bottles, stains on the bed, and a rotting smell that won't quit. Furious, she texts Becky photos of the mess, demanding accountability. Becky brushes it off, claiming she was in holiday mode and just wanted to relax. When the woman bans her sister from future visits, Becky cries foul, and their parents accuse her of thinking she's better than everyone. This story hits hard because it exposes the entitlement some people bring to others' generosity. The woman's anger is relatable. Who hasn't felt taken advantage of by a guest who treats your home like a hotel? The emotional hook is the betrayal of trust, amplified by the fairness heuristic. We expect others to treat us as we treat them. Becky's dismissal of the mess as no big deal is a slap in the face, and the woman's decision to set boundaries is a masterclass in self-respect. The controversy? Some might say she's overreacting. It's just a messy room, right? Wrong. It's about respect, and her stand challenges the idea that family gets a free pass to disrespect you. Behavioral science supports her. Setting boundaries reduces stress and reinforces self-worth. Her story is a rallying cry for anyone who's ever cleaned up someone else's mess, literally or figuratively. The bride who banned her golden child sister. Meet a 28-year-old woman who's spent her life in the shadow of her sister, Stephanie, her parents' golden child. Growing up, Stephanie could do no wrong, insulting her sisters, stealing their things, and hogging the spotlight at every event. Even at her graduation dinner, Stephanie announced her pregnancy, stealing the moment with their parents' blessing. Fed up, she and her other sister, Emily, cut contact, only communicating for emergencies. Now, as she plans her wedding, her father assumes he'll walk her down the aisle, and Stephanie will be an honorary bridesmaid. She shuts it down. Her best friend Matt will walk her, and Stephanie's not invited. Why? Because she wants one day that's about her, not Stephanie. This story is a powder keg of emotion, anger, hurt, and the desperate need for validation. It taps into the scarcity mindset. When you've spent your life fighting for scraps of attention, you guard your moments fiercely. Her decision to exclude Stephanie is controversial. Some argue she's punishing her sister for their parents' favoritism, while others see it as a justified act of self-love. The extended family's pushback, citing Stephanie's tough times and their mother's difficult pregnancy, reeks of guilt-tripping. But behavioral psychology tells us that people-pleasing often stems from fear of rejection. By saying no, she's breaking that cycle, choosing herself over family pressure. Her story challenges the sacred cow of family unity, asking, why should she invite someone who's never valued her? The wife who won't share her food. Finally, we have a woman whose husband keeps asking to eat off her plate at restaurants. Despite her clear boundaries, they order separately, pay separately, and she confirms his choice before ordering. Yet, minutes into the meal, he's eyeing her dish, begging for a bite. When she refuses, he pushes until she snaps, and he storms out, later accusing her of embarrassing him. She feels guilty, wondering if she should have just shared. But the comments reveal a darker truth. This isn't about food, it's about control. This story is deceptively simple, but packed with emotional resonance. It's not just about a plate of pasta. It's about respect and autonomy. The husband's tantrum when denied taps into the reactance theory. People push harder when their control is threatened. His behavior feels like a power play, testing how far he can bend her boundaries. The controversy lies in the split opinions. Some call her petty for not sharing, while others see his persistence as manipulative. The chilling suggestion that this could signal deeper issues, like cheating, as one commenter's friend experienced, adds a layer of intrigue. Her story resonates with anyone who's felt pressured to give in, challenging the idea that love means saying yes to everything. It's a wake-up call. Small boundary violations can reveal big problems. The deeper truth. Why these stories hit so hard. These stories aren't just anecdotes. They're mirrors reflecting our deepest fears and desires. They tap into universal emotions. The sting of betrayal, the ache for respect, the courage to say no. Each one challenges a societal norm, family loyalty, parental authority, unconditional love, and asks us to rethink what we owe others versus what we owe ourselves. From a psychological lens, they expose cognitive biases like the halo effect, assuming family is inherently good, and the endowment effect, valuing relationships just because they're ours. They also leverage the power of storytelling. Vivid details like the rotting smell in the spare room or the mother's red-faced outburst make the pain palpable, while the moral ambiguity sparks debate. What makes these stories irresistible is their defiance of expectation. They don't wrap up neatly with forgiveness or reconciliation. Instead, they leave us wrestling with tough questions. Is it selfish to prioritize yourself over family? Can you love someone and still walk away? These narratives hook us by breaking the rules, refusing to forgive, banning family, standing firm on a plate of food, and they keep us engaged by validating our unspoken frustrations. They're not just stories. They're battle cries for anyone who's ever felt invisible in their own life. Conclusion: choose yourself, even when it hurts. These 5 women faced impossible choices. Forgive a cheating father, accept a mother's betrayal, clean up a sister's mess, share the spotlight with a golden child, or give in to a pushy spouse. Each chose herself, defying the pressure to conform. Their stories remind us that family isn't a blank check for bad behavior. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's survival. As you reflect on their journeys, ask yourself, what would I do? Would I bend or would I break free? The answer might surprise you. In a world that glorifies family above all, these women dare to rewrite the script. They're not heroes or villains. They're human, flawed, and fiercely real. Their courage to say enough is a challenge to us all. Protect your peace, claim your space, and never apologize for choosing yourself.